Hello guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel, here with the HappyAssassin, aka Assassination Gaming. So,
I'm ready to go on
I
this
think there is a point that I haven't made quite clear, and it's something I really want to cover today, because as I've been out in the YouTube community, reading the comments on various videos, and even reading some of the comments on the games at the social club, on the job comments, I see people writing a lot of the same thing, where there's no time for them to play darts, and there's just no time for them to load the game up and start the glitch. So if you guys haven't seen the glitch, I actually posted a tutorial. I'll leave a link to my last video in the description. So what we're pretty much talking about today is the game of darts you have to start before you can do the glitch, and pretty much the easiest way to go about and do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys right now the difference it makes when having Fagios in your garage. I cannot stress this point enough. You absolutely need to have either Fagios or motorcycles in your clubhouse when you start. How many of them you have will affect how many, how many seconds, how much time you have as your garage loads up. So let's go ahead and start up this job here. I'm doing the 2-floor one. I will come out with a 1-floor tutorial, just because I know a lot of the people with 1 floor are having some issues. And no, do not worry, you don't need to change your clubhouse if you're having issues. And no, it is not patched. If it is patched, I will immediately update my video title on any video that has to do with this glitch, and I will immediately come out with another video talking about the fact that it's been patched as well. So you guys can definitely rely on me to make sure I get that information out to you. If you ever are having a doubt or anything like that, just come back to my channel. I promise it will be updated. Without further ado, I just headed to sports, and matchmaking closed. I'm just going to go ahead and start this solo. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and choose my LG Retro Custom. And ready to play. Also, guys, before we get into this, I do want to say,
Look who it is.
please, I mean, I don't like to ask for likes, but please like this video, share this video, comment on this video, get this video to the top of the search, to the top of the search bar, mainly because I really want this video to reach the community, so people can stop having this issue with the darts. I don't know why, but at the current moment, at the time of this recording, I really haven't seen any other YouTubers talk about the fact that you absolutely need Fagios and motorcycles in your clubhouse. So this is definitely necessary information that needs to reach the community as soon as possible. So you guys, for your fellow players, please go ahead and get this video as popular as you possibly can. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to respawn. And right now I'm showing you guys what it will look like when you do have a lot of Fagios in your garage. Now you actually have time to get out a lot earlier, and you can actually get out of your car if you spawn with your car and still start the game. So we're going to go over to this dartboard. We're going to see if we can get this first try.
Alright.
There we go, first try. So that was not hard at all. We've started the game of darts. Now I'm not going to duplicate too much. I'm just going to duplicate over the Fagios, so I can show you what happens when you don't have any motorcycles or any bikes or anything like that in your garage. Let's go ahead and quit there. And I'm just going to go duplicate over a couple of these Fagios, and I will resume recording just as soon as I'm done with all that. Now, actually a quick side note before I duplicate over these. Yeah, the slot I'm standing in now, these are LG Retro Customs. They are invisible, so you don't need to have a full garage full of Fagios. But if you look here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that are actually physically accessible in this clubhouse garage. And I really need to stress the point here, it's not just about them being fagios. They don't have to be fagios. They can be bikes of any kind. They just need to take up some space. You need to be able to see them, and they need to be accessible from your clubhouse, meaning they can't be vehicles that you have to call your mechanic for. They need to be here. You need to be able to run into them. That's really all. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate. I'll duplicate the Shih Tzu Hakuchu and both of these fagios, and I'll try this same thing again with only 2 bikes in my garage this time, and we'll see how well that goes. Okay, so we have gone ahead and duplicated all of those, except for those 2 bikes over there. I actually need to move those to a different garage so that next time I can make a little bit better of a tutorial. But as you can see, the 3 that were on this side, other than those 2 bikes, which I've gone ahead and moved next to each other to just look a little bit neater, everything else is an LNG Retro Custom, which is an invisible and inaccessible vehicle. So what we're going to do, now that we've done that, and I recommend doing this, you guys, so you don't get put into the bad sport lobby. I know finishing the race can be a bit of a pain, and not everyone wants to do that, but if you quit enough races, you will actually end up being put into the bad sports lobby. They give you a dunce cap, and you can be there for months, so it's really not fun. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go into Creator, and then after Creator, we're just going to hit GTA Online. And what that's going to do is it's going to prevent us from getting the you quit message, bad sport message, whatever you want to call it, where they pretty much tell you if you keep quitting, you're going to be put into bad sport. Okay guys, so we are loaded back in, and now what we're going to do is we're just going to go right on down to the ground, and before we start this job back up, I'm actually going to replace one of my LG Retro Customs that I have in my office garage with a bike from my biker club, just to make sure I only have one in there, just to show you guys exactly what one bike or maybe even 0 bikes potentially will look like, as I know some of you guys have done that. So while I do this, one thing I'm going to talk about is this common theme. Let's just go in passive mode real quick so we don't get shot up while we're doing this. So I've noticed that there is this common theme online where people are pretty much saying it's like they do it 1 or 2 or 3 times, and then all of a sudden it's really, really hard for them to do the glitch. So the reason that I think a lot of people are saying this, and I'm like absolutely positive that this is the reason why this is happening. So as you guys have probably noticed, when you first did this glitch, chances are you probably had a full garage full of fagios, because that's what everyone does when they start this glitch. They're like, okay, well, these are going to turn into money. And a lot of the time, people probably chose to go ahead and duplicate over every single one of those fagios. But chances are they messed up once or twice, leaving them about 2 of them, anywhere between 2 and 3, left in their motorcycle clubhouse. So, my guess would be that the next time that they did that, chances are they weren't too successful, and they probably had like 1 or 2 of them that they messed up on, that they may have left behind. So then the next time, it's still easy, but it's a little bit harder now, just because you only have 2 instead of having 10, and that, you know, that'll definitely make things a little bit easier than it would to have 0. So the next time they go back and they duplicate over those next 2 fagios, and then they're at 0. And when you're at 0, things tend to get a lot harder. And I mean, I'm not going to wait for 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 minutes, as it has taken me before. But before I knew about this, I was really spending a half hour, sometimes upwards of a whole hour, trying to get this glitch to work. And I dreaded starting up the job. I never got it first try, never got it second or third try even. It was usually taking me at least a couple hundred tries, being 100% literal, no exaggeration there, just to get it right. So here what we're going to do is we're going to start this job up now. I'm just going to show you guys the difference as to how hard this is when you do not have any motorcycles or any Fagios in your garage. Now I have one, which will make this very, very difficult. I've done it with one in the garage before, and that I've always had at least one in the garage, even before I knew about this, just because I have been too lazy to move my Shotaro to another garage. But I think having one in here will show you guys just about the same difficulty level, and you'll hear a lot of people saying it's impossible. If you hear that, guys, please, you can send them on over to this video, or maybe even just tell them yourself that it is indeed possible. You just have to make sure you have something in there. Now, guys, the reason why this happens this way is because when you first respawn into your clubhouse garage, what's happening is you're actually you're spawning in as though it's an area of the regular free mode map, and it's not registering as a clubhouse. Now, the reason it kicks you back out is because it is fully loaded and recognizes itself as a clubhouse. Sorry if I'm not making very much sense. So, essentially what's happening here is it is actually taking a little bit more or a little bit less time to load, because there's nothing to load in all of those slots where you don't have anything for it to load. So pretty much the reason why an LG Retro Custom is inaccessible is because when your motorcycle club garage loads up, there's a certain protocol regimen it follows. Certain things first and second, certain things last. So some of the first things you will see are things like how many vehicles there are, what color they are they drivable, are they not drivable, what's their condition that they're in, and as you guys can see, this is already getting a little bit harder. You know, stuff like that, all this data that it has to load about the vehicle, the physics of each and every vehicle, the upgrades on every single vehicle. Now, when you have a vehicle that is physically inaccessible, it's that much less for your garage to have to load. And we're kind of relying on the garage to be a little bit laggy in a sense, that it will become a garage and then take a couple seconds to register everything in the garage and then kick you out. And usually by then it's a bit too late. So as you can see, I am going over there. I am really spamming right on the D-pad and A as fast as I can, and it's just not working. And the reason, I promise you guys, the reason is because of those motorcycles and Fagios not being in the garage below. So this will be next to impossible. What we're pretty much relying on here is nothing but luck and incredibly fast tapping, which, I mean, when you have a full garage full of Fagios, you could do this relatively slow and not have to worry about how fast you're mashing the buttons in order to get it first try, second try, sometimes maybe even a third try, just depending on, you know, a couple things that may happen or may not load right or may glitch. But there have been times when I've done it this way, probably because there is one motorcycle in the garage, that it was actually possible to still do. However, while doing this, I mean, it takes me upwards of at least 30 minutes. I don't think I've ever gotten this in less than 35 minutes with one motorcycle in my garage. Now, I've never tried it with zero, and I will not try it with zero, just because I already know I am completely wasting my time. So, I mean, I'm just going to leave you guys with this footage here. I think it speaks for itself. It very much proves what I'm saying to you guys to be absolutely true. As dumb as it sounds, the reason you're not getting those darts on that first and second try is because of the Fagios and because of the motorcycles not being in your garage. I promise, yes, it is that simple. And I think as soon as you fill it up, you guys will really see that what I'm saying is just that much more true. So without very much more to say, I think that's the end of today's video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, drop a like. If there's anything else you find that might help with the timing, I think filling your garage really should be enough. But if there's anything else that'll lag you out for maybe like a few seconds more, or anything really significant enough to make sure we get darts on the first try every day, or I mean every time, definitely let me know down in the comments below. Drop a comment for sure. I will leave the link to the tutorial on how to do the glitch, especially with the other cars, in the description, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.